Baseball and Whatever, with your host, Justin McAwee.
Because I was on campus and I had to appear like I was one of the cool kids, I would put the Star Wars book inside one of my textbooks so it looked like I was just studying for class.
All right, look, there's only one return, okay? And it ain't of the king, it's of the Jedi.
Vincent Francis Jankowitz aboard.
I'm a glorified fact checker.
Last I checked, the most runs in a game wins.
Actually, I am a fact checker.
And Greg Probst.
If you look at most Bond fans movie rankings, they have Casino Royale and Majesties in their top two. For me, these actually rank in the bottom part of my list. I mean, I love them, but they don't compare to Diamond Dust Forever.
No, stop getting Bond wrong!
Alrighty, what's up, everybody? It is Baseball and Whatever, episode 88. I'm Justin, there's Vinnie. We are joined by a special guest. You might remember him from our top 5 football helmet countdown we did. When was that, Jordan? Like 3-4 months ago, maybe?
Around October or so.
October, okay.
Yeah.
Having a 1-year-old time is like a flat circle. It means nothing to me anymore. So, so if you want to get into some football talk, go ahead and check that episode out. But Jordan was nice enough to join us. We are going to discuss, he's a diehard Bengals fan. When we originally talked about this, the plan was that the Bengals would be in the Super Bowl. So this would, be like the perfect joining of forces here. But unfortunately, they did not have that plan to go along with us. But we're going to talk Bengals. I'm kind of curious to get Jordan's feedback on what people outside Chicago think of Justin Fields, because I feel like sometimes Vinny and we're knee deep in sports radio out here, and there's a lot of bad takes on him. So we'll get his thoughts on that. We'll discuss a little Super Bowl, and then before we get him out of here, we also want to rank our top 5 football logos of all time. Not football helmets, but football logos, because sometimes those are different. And I tried to dive a little bit into the NCAA and a little bit into the CFL, but I kept coming back to the NFL just because I feel like that's where it's made. I did look up the NFL Europe logos. They are really bad. Holy cow, are they bad. There's a reason that league only lasted like 6 seasons. It might have been just for the logos. I don't know. But, episode 88, we'll push back our normal segments of, looking back at number 88s that wore Chicago infamous and famous athletes. Patrick Kane's one of them. I can say that out loud now because I know he's number 88. He's probably the one everyone's thinking of right now. He might not even be a Blackhawk by the next week we do this episode, Vinny. I don't know if you heard that all the way up in Madison.
That'll be shocking. I saw that there was some stuff that he was like saying his goodbyes to Chicago. And stuff like that.
I think the era of Chicago Blackhawks hockey is over. We're back in the basement. But
long gone, Justin.
It's long gone. It's been almost a decade since the last Stanley Cup, which kind of hit me a little hard. I did not realize. Oof. Yeah, I was going to grad school to get my special ed certification in 2010, and it made me realize I've been out of college for a long time. Anyway, that is neither here nor there. So let's just jump in. Jordan, I guess first off, what's your takeaway on the Bengals season? I am a huge Joe Burrow fan. Didn't really follow him a ton when he was at LSU, but since he's kind of come into the league and kind of taken it over, I mean, almost making it to the Super Bowl in back-to-back seasons is incredible. What's the Cincinnati perspective? Is he like the golden boy down there, or do people still second guess him? What's it like down there? I know you're in Kentucky, but what's it like down there?
Yeah, I'm in Lexington, which is essentially greater Cincinnati, pretty much. But no, there's no second guessing of Joe Burrow. He's a golden boy here. He's awesome. Love him. When we first talked, I really thought we were going to beat the Chiefs, and I thought this was going to be a nice little victory lap. Come on, talk about Super Bowl, get fired up for it. So, but Patrick Mahomes is a person that exists, and here we are.
Jesus. Yeah, there was a story broke a couple weeks ago about the Bears were supposed to draft Mahomes, and they told him they were going to draft him, and then they traded up to get Trubisky. Was it Mahomes' father was on the radio out here last week saying that?
Somebody's going to bury that story.
Oh yeah. That came and went like in 1 or 2 days, and then it kind of faded away. That was just more ineptitude by the front office, but I look at the Bengals and watching them, on some of the nationally televised games. It's like, man, they just seem like such a complete team. Like, is there one aspect of their game you think is the strongest, or, do they have a weak part? Obviously, I know they didn't make it to the Super Bowl, but like, what's their strength and what are their weaknesses for people in Chicago that maybe don't have a strong grasp of who the Bengals are?
Well, I mean, like the obvious with like the young stars on offense are so fun to watch. We don't have much as far as an offensive line goes. We're better than we were, but that's not that great. But the stuff that I watch them every week, and the thing that's really fun is their defense, which doesn't have like a lot of like big money like all pro guys, but like our defense coordinator is incredible, and like he comes out at halftime and just shuts people down immediately. And I'm really hoping that none of these open jobs figure that out, because I'm going to be upset if we lose Lou Anarumo.
Yeah, I mean, there was talk earlier in the season that, you know, people were going to come after the Bears OC, which is Luke Getsy, and I think, Vinny, that faded really fast after, 6 or 7 weeks? It was like, nobody wants this guy. And I know he coached, like, was it the Senior Bowl game or something recently for the high school
Senior
kids?
Bowl.
Or
Yeah.
Okay. See, I don't know. I mean, as somebody from, I mean, what do you think of the Bengals when you see them play? I don't think we've ever talked about Joe Burrow at any of the family parties or anything like that, so...
Are you asking me?
I'm asking you, yes, Vinny.
Oh,
what's the Madison perspective?
Yeah, the Madison perspective. They're too preoccupied with what Aaron Rodgers is going to do after his retreat that he takes. But no, Joe Burrow.
I'm excited about this retreat.
Yeah,
right. I think everybody is, especially Jets fans. I'm sure they're just waiting for him to ask for a trade. But no, Joe Burrow is exciting. I think Mahomes and Burrow is going to be like the next Brady Manning. I mean, that's what it's setting up to, like back-to-back years. I think that's going to be exciting going forward. And unfortunately, the NFC can never have anything good like that going on. We have a bunch of crap QBs that, cycle in and out. There's some good, QBs that last every once in a while, but I mean, nothing that's sustainable like that Brady Manning rivalry was, and what Burrow and Mahomes appears to be going forward.
Yeah, it's just so weird to me. Like, I don't know. I mean, Jordan, I'm assuming you don't feel this way because they were just in it last year. But like, I it's Super Bowl time, and I just kind of think, man, what if the Bears were actually in it? And it just kind of depresses me even more, because the one time I saw them in it, like that Devin Hester run back of the kickoff, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna see a Bears Super Bowl in my lifetime, because I wasn't even a thought yet in '85. But and then Peyton Manning's just like, nah, that's not gonna happen. Sorry. So
Justin,
I mean,
that's funny, because as soon as Devin Hester ran it back, I said, "Oh my God, they're gonna lose," because there's no rhyme or reason except for the NCAA national championship game that year started off with a return kick for a touchdown. It was Ohio State, and they ended up losing. And as soon as that happened, I go, "Oh crap, they're gonna lose now," because it's setting up just like that. And sure enough,
Ted Ginn.
Oh yeah,
Ted Ginn Jr. Yep.
Who did Ohio State play that year? I feel like I'm drawing a blank. Was that wasn't Texas? Was that the Vince Young year? No.
No, because that was Texas USC.
That's right.
I don't.
That's right. I'm drawing a blank.
They played.
I totally forgot about that.
I remember it was Ted Ginn Jr.
Oklahoma, maybe?
Ex-Bear too.
Yeah.
It might have been. You know what? It might have been. Was that the year Sam Bradford? Was that Sam Bradford or?
Oh God, there's a blast from the past.
It's around there.
Yeah,
it's around there.
Yep, I'm drawing a blank.
See, the
Colt
06
McCoy with Texas, or Sam Bradford in Oklahoma, I think.
It says the 06. Wait, we're talking 06, right?
Oh, that's 06. That's way back then. Never mind.
Oh, okay. All right. Or was it 2007? What? I'm trying to think what year that would have been for the NCAA. It doesn't matter. I was looking at. I just pulled up. 2007. Was that Florida? Was it the Gators? Maybe. No, I don't think so. Or was it? That would have been like
that's Tebow era.
Oh yeah, Tim Tebow. I remember I had one of the NCAA games had Tim Tebow on it, and I'll admit I totally bought into the Tim Tebow fever when he was a Bronco for a brief period of time.
Well, that era of NCAA football, like the video game, was incredible too.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I can't wait. I think it's Is it 2024? I think they're bringing college football back, I think. So they had to work out a deal with, I think, like player rights and things like that. Oh, Vinny, your dad's in the chat. He says it was Florida State. I thought it was it Florida?
And I looked it up. It was Florida. No, it was not Florida State.
All right. There you go. Man, your dad's batting 1,000 already. All right. Well, the Bengals are obviously a much better team than the Bears, but let's talk about the Super Bowl. Let's go predictions first. Jordan, I'll start with you. What's your prediction? I mean, you got Mahomes, you got Jalen Hurts, who I think every Bears fan keeps hoping that's what Justin Fields is going to turn into after this past season. It might be. I might actually be like excited to say I'm a Bears fan if it were. But what predictions? What are you looking for when you watch the game this Sunday?
What can they do with Travis Kelce? Like, if he has a dozen catches and like they're just moving up and down the field, like I just kind of think the Chiefs are going to win.
Yeah, I feel like it's set in stone. I mean, if you ask Arian Foster, the script has already been written, right? Like it's oh my God, what a weird story that was. But yeah, I mean, I would love to see the Eagles win just because then you get the craziness that is the Philadelphia Eagle fans, trying to climb the light poles and they have to grease them and all that stuff. But I don't know. I feel like until Mahomes shows you he can't handle it or can't do it, it's his to lose, right? Like he's at the top of his game right now.
Last year in the AFC Championship game, I never thought we had them beat at any point in time. Like, because he's just like the Undertaker. Like he's just always going to come back and is just going to keep rising up. And so this year, I wasn't surprised when they won. It was like, he had the ball last, so that was going to happen.
Right. Oh God, I feel like that's a Bears move, letting the other team have the ball last and then just hoping for the best. Vinny, what about you? You got any certain predictions? Anything you're thinking? What you're hoping to see? What you think you'll see? Stuff like that.
Yeah, I think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win. I don't know. Mahomes is just out of this world this year. And the Eagles, the Eagles had a pretty easy schedule, so maybe the ease into the Super Bowl and not, they're more rested. Maybe they pose a problem, or, maybe that backfires. Who knows? That it was too easy and they actually didn't have a good enough challenge into the postseason like the Kansas City Chiefs did. So yeah, I think the Chiefs will win. I would like to see them win. Andy Reid get his revenge against the Eagles and Mahomes. It's always fun to see, the next guy, take the torch, and that would be Mahomes taking it from Brady, who's, I guess, maybe coming back. Who knows? Because he's starting not next year, but the year after.
And with Fox. Did you see how much money they're paying him for 10 years? $375 million, I think, for 10 years of broadcasting. Like, I don't, I'm not going to begrudge anybody that can go out there and command that kind of money, because if I could, I definitely would. But I don't know. When people tune in, I'm not tuning in to hear Tony Romo's thoughts. I thought he used to be good. I'm not too big of a fan of, I don't know, he's kind of wearing on me a little bit. I'm not tuning in to listen to Troy Aikman and Joe Buck or, I don't know. I don't know why. I'm definitely not tuning in to listen to Chris Collinsworth. I'm not a fan. I miss John Madden and Pat Summerall so much, but
for real,
I know. I was listening to a Frank Caliendo thing this morning, and it was him doing them, and I'm like, oh man, those were the days. But I don't know why. Like, are they really going to make their money back on that? Like, what if he's awful? What if he is just a horrible broadcaster? Like, there's been guys that have tried this, and they're really bad. Like, I remember.
Yeah.
Was it Joe Carter, famously of the Blue Jays, but he was a Cub for like 1 year. He came and did WGN baseball when, was it the year after Chip Carey went back to Atlanta, or after Harry Carey passed away? And it wasn't good. Like it really, he only lasted a year and then he was gone before they brought in Len Casper and I think Bob Brenly at that point. So I don't know, like I don't know, Jordan, are you actually like looking forward to hearing Tom Brady, or is it more of a novelty? Like, what do you think?
It's more of a novelty. I will say this: when you have somebody who's not very good, it like totally detracts from the game.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the wild card playoff game with the Jaguars, where they had the big comeback against the Chargers? Game was incredible, and it was crickets like on TV. Like if they had anybody announcing it, like that would have been like an all timer. But I don't get it. I mean, like, Vinny, is there anybody that you'll actually turn a game onto, even if you're not a fan of the team, just because you know who's broadcasting, or no?
No, I don't try to seek out some crew that's doing a game. That's not, no. But I will say there are guys I do like listening to. I think Greg Olson's phenomenal. I would agree with that. What he does. I love listening to Kevin Harlan. He's probably one of my favorites that does play-by-play across all sports.
I like listening to him when it comes to NBA, for sure.
Yep, and I'm with you on Tony Romo. I just think he's just gotten. It was last year's Chiefs Bills game. He was just so obnoxious during that. I could not stand listening to him because everything was just like he over exaggerated. I felt like everything. I mean, it was a great game, but I felt like he was trying to insert himself into that game and try to like make himself known that he was calling it. It was like, dude, just let it happen. I mean, this is awesome what's going on. You don't need to like get all squirrely and squealy during the game. That's not what I need to listen to because
you don't want to hear him like raising his voice octave and getting all hoarse because he's all excited. No,
I don't need to hear that.
I was listening to I think it was on 670 The Score. It might have been on AM 1000 ESPN Chicago, but they were talking about how when Tony Romo first started, he was very good at like being able to dictate and point out like, okay, they're going to run this play. And if these wide receivers aren't here, he's going to check down and all this football lingo. And like people really enjoyed it. Like that's one of the reasons I thought he was pretty good. And then supposedly the broadcasting like higher ups were like, yeah, you need to cool that. We don't really want you to do that anymore. And that's why you've kind of gotten this much more like goofy, not opposite of lackadaisical. I don't know what that would be, but like supposedly that's the reason why, which I don't know why you would do that. That seems like something counterintuitive, but I don't know. But yeah, Tom Brady, I kind of hope he's done. I'm so over Tom Brady. So over him. I don't know.
Really?
I feel like we're gonna get like the I'm sure everybody remembers like the Favre saga, like when he was retiring and coming back, retiring and coming back. We've not really quite got that with Brady yet, but there'll be like a week in the summer where it's like the 49ers have lost their fifth quarterback or something.
Yes. Yep. And that's as soon as I saw all the stuff that went down with the 49ers, I'm like, oh, he's going there or Aaron Rodgers is going there. Like that just seems like the perfect setup. I don't know how that affects Trey Lance and, Brock Purdy and Jimmy Garoppolo for that matter too. But, but I know we're supposed to be talking Super Bowl, but let's talk about this Aaron Rodgers thing because as a Bears fan, I'm legally obligated to hate anything they do. Whatever his personal stuff is, that's fine. But it's funny, like I used to always think whenever they would bring up like, oh, it's such a shame Aaron Rodgers, has this estranged relationship with his family and blah, blah, blah. And, they don't get along. They don't see each other. And I used to always think, man, that's such a shame that his family is doing that to him. The more I learn about him, the more I hear him talk. Whenever he goes on the Pat McAfee show, which Pat McAfee is not my cup of tea. It's too like amped up for me. But anytime Aaron Rodgers opens his mouth, I'm like, his family's not the ones that are weird. It's him. He's, they've left him alone because they don't want to deal with him.
He's a Taylor Swift song.
It is. Oh man, it's a Taylor Swift. It's gonna write itself. But like, okay. So the premise was he's going to go on a cabin retreat where they slide food in a little slot for you or under the door for you, and it's pitch black and there's no electricity. You can't see and you start to have visions or hallucinations, and that's what's going to guide him on his next step in his football career. So A, is that insane? And B, if you're a Packers fan, are you happy that he's leaving it up to visions on what he should do after he just signed like another contract last year, right? Like, am I crazy? What? I don't.
So he stole this off of a plot of the show Yellowstone.
I think you're right.
That happens in Yellowstone. That's by a tree. It wasn't like in a shack, but it was pretty close.
Oh my god! Yeah,
I mean, it sounds like like lockup in like the hole in prison or something.
Yeah, like is this an episode of Oz? I don't know.
Stuff like that.
This is like Shawshank Redemption being put in there.
Exactly.
He's got something on the warden who is Matt LaFleur apparently. I don't know, but like I don't understand. I mean, in Wisconsin, obviously, Vinnie, you're in the heart of it. Like, are people kind of fed up with him? Like when you just hear in passing or on the radio, or is he still the golden boy?
No, I think the golden boy's that ship has sailed. I think a lot of people are just kind of fed up with every offseason, this drama unfolding on whether he's going to be back. And I think a lot of it, I know one of my brother-in-laws is a staunch supporter of Aaron Rodgers, but
really
after like the past like 3 off seasons, like this guy's. I thought he like his like you said, I thought his family was weird, but this guy's just bonkers. Like he's really weird.
He's quickly approaching like he used to be so clean cut, which is whatever, you're entitled to look however you want, but like he looks like a villain from Breaking Bad at this point. I feel like, like I'm waiting for him to show up with Tuco or something, like, he's running some outfit illegally somewhere. Speaking of which, bringing it back to the Super Bowl, they are doing a Breaking Bad commercial. I don't know if you guys saw. I don't know how big of. I know Vinny's a big Breaking Bad fan. Jordan, were you a fan of the show or?
Oh yeah, I watched them all.
Okay, I finally got around to watching it last year when my daughter was born. I watched like 2-3 episodes at 2 a.m.
I'm sure she loved it.
Oh, she was. Yeah, she was a huge fan. We had to have a talk about why meth is bad, but besides that awkward discussion, it was fine. But and supposedly they're doing a commercial where it's shot scene for scene. They got Bryan Cranston and what's his name? I'm drawing a blank. This is what I do.
Paul.
Yes, they got him. They got them both to come back, and they recreated scenes in the RV from the first season, and then scenes with Tuco, and it's for Popcorners baked chips. I don't know if you guys have ever had those. And it's literally the scene of them giving the bag to Tuco, and Tuco like trying some, and it's bizarre. So look for that on Sunday for the Super Bowl commercials.
That sounds expensive.
It does. Yeah. And like they all have the same outfits on. I'm like, okay, who had to dig through wardrobe from a show that ended like 6-7 years ago to find these outfits? But
and it was a meth trailer to begin with.
Well, yeah,
right.
Exactly. All right. Before we get into the football logo talk, because we're running short on time. Anything else Super Bowl related that you're excited for? Maybe, Jordan, what's your go-to like Super Bowl snack? Do you have a go-to? Do you make a big spread for the Super Bowl?
We normally do. The go-to for us is a dip that I think probably everybody has a name for. I don't have a name for it. It's just it's Velveeta cheese, it's salsa, and it's sausage, and it's in a crock pot, and it's incredible.
I like the sausage angle. I think that could be good.
Yeah.
I like that. Sounds Vinny, good. What about you? You guys got anything at the Jankowicz household you'll be making?
No, probably not. I don't know, unless I get around to making like buffalo chicken dip or something for the game. But yeah,
no,
we don't have any big plans or anything like that.
No, neither do we. This is the first year I'm just kind of like, I'll put it on, but am I really going to sit and watch all of it this year? I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I feel like this might be controversial, but I will take boneless wings over bone-in wings for the Super Bowl any day of the week.
That's perfectly fine.
That's perfectly fine. Okay, because I know there's like a hot take of boneless are not real wings, which I know that they're chicken tenders almost, but yeah.
Is this like a cleanliness thing? Like you don't want to get all sticky for the game?
Yeah, I don't want to be all sticky. It's a pain. You gotta, just a lot of work to eat food.
Get a big tub of ranch or blue cheese and use a fork. Grab the wing,
you're good
dip
to go.
it in, and eat it.
That's right. All right. Well, if any more
underrated one, potato skins.
Oh, we used to make that all the time when we were kids. Potato skins and jalapeno poppers. That was like our go-to. All right. If any more Super Bowl stuff comes up in the meantime, feel free to bring it up. But we're going to shift gears to our whatever topic for this week, which is our famous and favorite football logos. Vinny, you ready with the drop?
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Here we go.
All right.
Now it's time for...
Oh, wait, no.
Oh, man, we're betting 1,000. That's all right. Forget it. We'll keep going. All right, anyway, it's whatever. Vinny, I'm going to hand it to you because this is your part of the show. Take it away.
All right. Welcome to whatever, baseball and whatever. This week, as Justin just said, we are counting down or counting up to, I still can't get that right, our top 5 football logos, not helmet designs as we did previously, but just logos of, I guess, NFL, college, XFL, CFL. Justin said he dabbled in looking at the NFL Europe League logos, but yeah, we are going through logos. I know I stuck just to the NFL. I didn't really want to dabble in college because there's way too many.
I ended up sticking with the NFL. I took the time. I was on Sports Logos digging through all the stuff because that's just a website I could spend hours on. But
I did the same. It felt wrong Super Bowl week.
Yeah. I ended up sticking with that. There was a couple I came across that were like unused or like more like secondary, tertiary logos. So I did work some of those in. So or at least one of them.
I'm all about the secondary logos.
Yes, I feel like there's an untapped market of secondary stuff. So, all right. I'm sorry, Vinny. Go ahead. Continue.
No, you're fine. Well, Justin, do you want to go first since you started into it? You might as well give us your number 5.
All right. So if you're on the YouTube or the video feed, and if you're listening to audio, I'll do my best to try and describe this as best I can. But if you're on the video feed, you guys can see I have Sports Logos pulled up, so I'm going to try and man that while we're discussing it. But my logo, and let me find the tab here because holy cow, this is a nightmare. I got too many tabs open. Okay. My number 5, I feel like I had to do something with the Bears as much as I can't stand them in times. But my number 5 logo is this one right here. It's the 93. It says it's unused, but I've seen it before. It's the classic C, but it's not the normal, typical, like, real-looking bear. This bear, to me, it always kind of looks like a animal version of Mike Ditka. Am I the only one that sees Mike Ditka in that bear logo?
I can't see it now.
So.
Okay, right? Yeah. It's something with the eyes. Like I see him yelling at Jim McMahon. Now, granted, this is from '93, but so this is my number 5. This is a logo that I wish they would bring back. I know
it's an unused
or used.
One, Justin.
It's unused.
Use it.
They should just use it. Thank you. I've seen it on clothes though, which makes me wonder if it was ever used at some point. But I wish they would bring this back. Now in this season they had those god awful orange helmets this year. I think you want to do an alternate helmet, that's fine. You make it blue, and then you stick that bear logo on the side, which I know is probably blasphemy because, charter franchise, they have to keep everything the same. But that logo, it says it's from 93 and it was unused. If you Google, Bears secondary logos, you'll get that bear logo that's been around forever of the angry-looking bear. But this one, a little more modern, even though it's, almost 30 years old at this point. But that is my number 5. That Bears logo. So I don't know if you guys got any takes on that, any thoughts on that one?
It looks like Ditka yelling at Will Ferrell about juice boxes.
Right?
From kicking and screaming, right?
And I feel like it's the glass Ditka's sunglasses that he would wear.
Yes.
I think that's what you're kind of seeing in this Bear logo.
So I don't know if maybe you've seen that one before, right, Vinny?
Yeah, I feel like I've seen it, but I wonder if that's I feel like before 93, I feel like that might have been, I don't know if that's because I know Pretzel Vince, I think, wrote in 85, the 85 logo, but there's no 85 logo on the website. So maybe this is around that time period where it started popping up
we'll
around the Super Bowl time and afterwards. I mean, what, Ditka was there till 93, right?
That's right around the time he got fired, I would imagine.
Yeah. So
and then he went to the Saints a handful of years later, right? So that's my number 5.
Good pick.
McCaskey's Virginia. If you're listening to the podcast, please bring it back. So I know the 98-year-old owner of the team has nothing better to do on a Thursday night. So
hey, she's got to do something for the team. She's got to earn her keep with the team.
Yeah, I suppose.
This sounds like a great way.
There you go.
Exactly.
All right. That's my number
Jordan,
5.
What's your number 5?
So I was thinking about this, and it's different than helmets because this kind of has to work on its own. So like the Bengals helmet's incredible. I love the Bengals helmet, but that's not a logo. You know what I mean? I guess you could go with the helmet, but our main logo is the B, which I don't really like. It's just a B. So a lot of the best ones are the ones that work on flags. Have you ever seen the flags in front of people's houses? They're big fans, or they're at tailgates and they got them up high. That's the best logos, and a lot of those are alternate or secondary or throwback logos. So a lot of these are that. But my 5th one is New England, and it's not their logo. It's the Pat the Patriot.
Good call.
The old school Pat the Patriot there.
Yep.
Good call. Yeah, that is one. I feel like before, I don't know. Once I started getting into football or watching football, as a preteen playing Madden. Like I had never seen that logo before until I had seen like highlights of the '85 Super Bowl. I really thought after Brady left, I'm like, they're gonna do a logo revamp, a uniform revamp, and I'm like, this is the perfect time to bring it back. And then, Mac Jones is still out there running around with the more modern one. But yeah, I would bring that back in a heartbeat. It's such a cool logo. Make the uniform. I think Jordan, I think you and I might have talked about this on the last episode we had you on. Like, make the uniforms blue and with that logo on the helmet too, and it would be perfect. Just because the red uniforms never made sense to me for the Patriots, but I think that's an awesome one. That is definitely better than their current one, if you ask me.
Yeah, I definitely think so. They were trying to go with like sort of the wing thing. Like how sort of like the Eagles have, where it wraps around the helmet, and the Vikings have, but I don't think it works still. But
no,
they've won a lot in it, so by all means.
Yeah, no, I feel like God. I mean, that's been around. I'm trying to think the first quarterback that would have worn that for them. I don't know. The earliest I go back is Bledsoe. Yeah, he was. Man, I was a big Bledsoe fan. I had a Bledsoe jersey when I was a kid. That's a great.
Shocking.
I know, it's shocking. I didn't have a single Bears jersey growing up because I just wanted nothing to do with that team. But yeah, there you go. And if we look back, it looks like that was their primary, simple revision since
that one is terrifying. That is
the 1960s one.
The guy's eyes they look like.
Speaking of Breaking Bad, he might have a little bit of drugs might be there for that. So, that's one that he definitely updated it through the 70s and 80s. That one looks more modern just with the skin tones, but I would bring that back in a heartbeat. So I think that's another good pick. All right.
Yep. I agree, and that one might be making a reemergence later on. My number 5 is the Chicago Bears logo from 1946 to 1973. It is the bear on top of the football.
Oh yeah,
it's just a nice looking logo. I think it's a good retro with the bear football. There you go, right there. It beats the C and the standard secondary logo that you see so often of the angry bear face.
I feel like the Bears are a team that they got these really cool secondary logos, and I don't know. I get the whole traditional thing.
They don't utilize them well enough.
No, they wear the stupid. Okay, I shouldn't say stupid. They wear the boring C, and then they make the head coach wear the B, the cursive B hat that I think was it Hallis wore when he was a coach or something along those lines. But like you see on like the coaches and trainers stuff, they wear stuff like this, and it's like tap into that. I don't know. I don't really know why. And I think Jordan, you brought it up too. Like the secondary market for logos is like that's where it's at. That's where you get a little bit of creativity.
The Reds are the same way. They have like almost the exact same C.
Yep.
Which is on the hats for 99% of the games, but all the best gear has Mr. Red on it.
Yes,
with the baseball.
Exactly.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Like there's been times where I've been close to buying either like a Mr. Mets hat or a Mr. Reds hat, just because it's a cool looking logo. That instead they go with that scripted C, and it's like it's kind of. I mean, I guess baseball you can get away with it because it's the whole like, oh, this has been our logo for 150 years. Where I don't know, the Bears. I mean, I know they're like the original franchise, and it's I don't know, it whatever. But yeah, Vinny, I think that's a great pick. Who would have thought two Bears fans had two different Bears logos on here? I did not see that coming. Did not see that coming.
All right, Justin, what's your number 4?
All right, my number 4. I'm looking at my list of 5 here. Well, I had 6, so one of them's got to go. Oh man, which one's gonna go? This is tough. This is what happens when you do it in real time. All right, my number 4. I'm gonna go. All right, we're gonna go with this one. Up until this year, because they completely fell apart. I liked playing as the Broncos as a kid on Madden, but I never was a fan of this new logo, the more modern one. I loved the classic D with the Bronco, shooting steam out of its nose. Now, when you zoom in on it, it's not the most like well drawn logo. I mean, it definitely could be. I think that's a perfect. What am I doing here? That's a perfect one that could be modernized. you know,
Yep.
and you can kind of see how it's changed a little bit since the 70s. But that one, definitely one of my favorites. I wish they would go back to that. I think it's cool, you know, the bucking Bronco. I remember the last time we were out in Denver, just seeing the giant Bronco outside the airport with like the glowing red eyes or orange eyes? Like they really love their Broncos out there. It's really, really funny just how crazy they are about their team. And then now, you know, Russell Wilson and who they just hire as their head coach from New Orleans.
Sean Payton.
Thank you, Sean Payton. Hopefully he can fix all that. I don't know if he's going to. They're kind of a train wreck now, but.
Justin, they don't just love their football. It's a big ranching state. You do know that,
right? I know. But when I think of...
Okay.
I know.
I think they love their ranches more than just the football
The logo
team.
is because of the ranching. I got that.
Yes.
But when I think of Colorado and the time I've been there, and I hope to go there many more times because I loved it out there, but like I think of the mountains and I think of Denver in Aspen, now I'm thinking of Dumb and Dumber in Aspen, and you know, Vail and things like that. I don't necessarily think of the ranching portion, but the fact that is such a big deal out there because of the ranching, Vinny, that is my number 4. I wish they would bring that logo back. I'm glad they brought back the orange for their primary stuff because for a while, you know, I feel like after the tail end of Elway into the 2000s, they had like the navy blue was their primary, and I'm like, that's not Broncos. That's the Bears, you know. So I'm glad they went back to orange, but bring this back full time and you'll win me over. So that's my number 4.
Yeah, their uniforms are kind of stuck in 97, 98.
Yeah.
I assume they're like next to chains. They gotta be.
They have to have something coming because, like you said, I feel like that initial like redesign totally was like modern and futuristic in the late 90s, and now it looks outdated because it's like nobody wears that anymore, you know. So.
It looks like something that was made for what was the football game on Dreamcast?
Oh, 2K? Was it NFL 2K?
It looks like a uniform that was created for 2K.
Right?
Yes. You might have nailed it. You might have nailed it right there. And, you know,
that's
now.
Great.
Yeah. All right. That's my number 4.
Okay, Jordan, your number 4.
I'm pretty partial to like all the ones that, like I said, flags, but I like shields too. So I'm just going the Raiders.
Ooh.
Love the Raiders logo.
Nice.
Good choice.
That's a very good one.
That is one that
I don't know if they have alternates. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But like that one's awesome.
Yeah.
They do not. That's it. That's all they got. But yeah, and I mean,
when they were
check.
with LA, they had a different. They had a kind of scaled back. Yeah, I mean, in the like first year. But I mean, it's. Essentially, I think since like 70s, 80s, it's been that Raiders.
It's been that whole thing, right?
Changed.
Yeah, yep. and that's one I would love. Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, I've never seen that one. That's totally foreign to me. With the goldish yellow, brown. I don't know.
I kind of like the one that's got the silver instead of the black in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one.
I like that one.
That's pretty sharp. That's really sharp. Yeah,
but again, you would like to see teams go to these throwbacks because these aren't bad. They're pretty stylish, and that would be kind of cool. But I don't see any of that stuff on any of their merchandise. I mean, this is a great logo, and
I'll say this: I don't think I've like zoomed in and looked at the face that's in the Raiders helmet. Mm-hmm. Kind of a clean cut guy with an eye patch.
Yeah, you don't.
I would have thought like a lot of, you know what I mean? Is
yeah, I think you nailed it. You don't really see, disheveled pirate or raider. I don't even know. Like it's a football, like an old school football helmet with an eye patch, and then the swords or sabers behind them. That is one. Granted, they're not in Oakland anymore, but part of me was always curious what it was like to go to an Oakland Raiders game at the Coliseum. Because I've heard that stadium is an absolute like dump, but that's kind of the charm, maybe. And 2, like their fan base is it's the dump that's yours. It's a special place. But like like their fan base, at least when they were in Oakland, was like so involved and so into it, which was really cool. And I don't know, I haven't really kept up with them since they moved to Las Vegas. I think Derek Carr, I think, is on the way out now. But yeah, like they had such a cool fan base, and now it's kind of for naught because now they're starting over in Las Vegas. So. It's a pretty sweet logo. There's actually a guy, 2 blocks down from me, which is really strange. I mean, being in like a south suburb of Chicago, there's a guy that has an Oakland Raiders flag or Las Vegas Raiders flag that he flies every Sunday, even when they lose. Like
I was at the Raiders Bengals playoff game, and that's all the way across the country, and Raiders got in. Like there's
really?
a lot of them there. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I know too, like I feel like in the early 90s too, like all of like pop culture, like the Raiders logo was like a popular one, or like the Raiders starter jackets, like that was a big deal to have one of those. So I think it's definitely one of those logos that stands the test of time.
It was like the Raiders one, the Bulls one, and the Hornets one.
Yes.
Like you had to have one of the 3.
Yeah, I had the Hornets one. Still, yeah. Well, see, and you would think being a Bulls fan, I should have had a Bulls one, but I digress.
You just
all right,
hate all Chicago sports.
No, as a kid, I liked to try and stand out and like be different, which is not what I'm like at all. I like to just try and hide in the background. I don't want the attention on me. Which is odd that I do a podcast. But yeah, I know. I had a Blackhawks starter jacket when I was younger, and then I got the Hornets one. So Muggsy Bogues. Muggsy Bogues was my guy.
My daughter's favorite player is Mahomes. So yeah, it's pretty normal for the little one to want to be different.
Yeah. Yep. So like Sunday, is that like, do you guys kind of razz her then, or what? Or you kind of just let it go because the Bengals aren't in it, or how's that work?
Well, it came about because like even when she was really little, she'd watch all the night games with me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would let her stay up for a quarter and watch the night game with me, and the Chiefs play on the night games like every time.
Mm-hmm.
So like she got to know who Mahomes and Kelsey were, and the Bengals were terrible when she was really little. So they never had games at that time. So she saw more Chiefs games the first few years than Bengals games. But now we get a Monday night game every now and then now.
Nice. That's awesome. See, that's what I'm looking forward to when my daughter gets old enough, is, hoping she'll pick teams I can follow, and even if she doesn't, I'll start following them for her. But yeah, all right, good pick. Very good pick. Vinny, are we to you now?
Yeah, my number 4 is, it's such a, I don't know. I like it. It would look good on a flag. It's the Detroit Lions 1961 to 1969 logo.
Oh, wow. That's a deep cut.
Yeah. I don't know. The line in it is really, I mean, it looks like somebody probably did that on like Paint on a computer. Very bland looking lion, but if they like updated the lion with the 2 bars, the blue and gray, like I think that would be a pretty cool logo. But yeah, I just like the eye appeal of it with the 2 color bars and then the lion right in front of it.
It's amazing how far graphic design has come. I feel like this is something I could even design in Canva right now, and I'm not very good in Canva. So yeah,
it has some Premier League vibes.
It kind of does.
And that's probably
You're
why
right.
I like it.
Like maybe like if you take that lion, tilt it like 90 degrees, you'd have like the Chelsea logo to a certain extent, maybe a little bit.
A little bit, but I'm not a Chelsea fan, so let's not go there.
This version got relegated, but like they're on their way up though.
Yeah. I know
exactly.
I know Chelsea and Wrexham right now. That's about it. So I have less to pull from for soccer. I'm sorry, Vinny. That's a really good look. Yeah, I mean, really, that was probably one of the last times the Lions were really good. Not to bash on them, but
were they ever good?
And I remember when Scott Mitchell was their quarterback in the 90s, and they were decent, but that was because
they got all the Barry Sanders highlights.
That's true. Also,
that's it.
Also, another jersey I had a Barry Sanders jersey too.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, I had a Mark Brunell jersey at one point when I was a kid too.
Well, there's something wrong with that. But we don't need to
I liked the Jaguars. All right, fair enough. Well, the Jaguars are not on my top 5. You'll be happy to know that. So,
well, there you go, because their logos are pretty much all
atrocious.
The same.
Their new one's awful. Yeah. I don't like that one. But anyway, all right, who are we up to?
All right,
me,
Justin. You number
all right,
3.
I got 4 left on my list, and I got to pick 3. So, all right, I'm gonna go. All right, I'm gonna go.
I mean, you should have dropped out at least one of them when you did number 5. I mean, you're working this completely wrong, Justin. You're gonna have 2 number 1s by the end of it.
All right, I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna go with this one just because of the Chicago Cardinals connection, and that is the Arizona Cardinals, Phoenix Cardinals, St. Louis Cardinals at one point too. I love that logo. I feel like it hasn't changed that much. There's been a few simplifications and modernizations to it, but that is a logo I just love. It's an angry looking cardinal. Yeah, I think of Jerry Maguire. I almost said.
I was about to bring that up.
That's what I think of. I think of Rod Tidwell doing flips in the end zone, and
it's the best version of this uniform.
Yeah, it really is, right? Like, and I think with that one too, they might have had the Arizona flag on there at one point, maybe, or something like that. With the like a rising sun, but
yes,
it's simple. It's unique. It hasn't really changed a lot since the days, which I always think is kind of cool when you have something that's decent and you hold on to it. You don't change it for change's sake. But yeah, not much else to say about that one. The current Arizona Cardinals logo is my number 3. Show me the money.
Nice. There we go. Good one. All right, Jordan, you're number 3.
Love it. I'm gonna take a weird pick because I think this is kind of a neat NFL logo topic. So this is not a team. I'm gonna go with Super Bowl 30.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I like that.
I'm kind of a big fan of like how they do a new Super Bowl logo this year. This year, I like this one's this year, but the 3 X's, like, and it was Sun Devil Stadium, so like they have like some sort of like Aztec type stuff to it. I thought it was pretty cool.
I do like that. That is something. Actually, I'm so glad you brought that up, Jordan. I was looking at the site earlier today, and I think their Twitter handle, who's run by their owner Chris, he tweeted out like the most, I don't know, last 30 years of the Super Bowl logos or whatever. And it's so sad. And I know the other sports are doing this too. Like they just use like a template design now. Like there's no uniqueness to it.
Oh, we lose Justin.
Uh-oh, we just lost Justin. All right. Well, now that we lost Justin, but yeah, I agree. No, there we go. Hi, Justin.
Hi. Sorry, I'm hitting back on the wrong tab. If you look at like the current, here's what I was trying to say before I hit the wrong button. If you look at the last, I don't know, since Super Bowl 50 in a 45, like it's just this template design of just, the Roman numerals. Like if you go back, like 30 was really cool. The Georgia Dome one was pretty neat with the peach. 20 was really cool. Yeah, there's just a lot of uniqueness there that I know, like the MLB playoffs, the World Series logo, they're doing a template one now too. You look at Super Bowl 3, that just looks
31's a whole thing. I remember I remember that Super Bowl. That one's Packers and Patriots.
Yes.
And it's the Mardi Gras Super Bowl. All the stuff was Mardi Gras themed.
Mm-hmm.
It was that one's awesome too.
It would help if I add that back. But yeah, that was let's see, hold on here. There we go. This is the Mardi Gras one right here. Yep. Yeah, that's a really cool one too. Good call. I like the Super Bowl logo instead. That's a good pick. Well done.
That is a good one.
All right.
All right. I guess it's back to me.
Back to you. Number 3, 2.
For my number 3, it is one of the Super Bowl teams. It is the Philadelphia Eagles logo from 1942 to 1947. Real simple eagle, kind of like silhouette, and a football. It's I like it. It's kind of clean cut looking. It's just a white background, green eagle, green football. I really like this design. Just something. I guess I'm very simple. In my last two picks were very simple, nothing crazy with them. But it's just a good look. I think again, I like the retro stuff. I think they need to have more of that in the NFL, especially just like in the merchandise. Maybe they do. I'm not a big Philadelphia Eagles fan, so maybe they do have a lot of this out there, but I enjoy it, and I think they should bring a lot of this stuff back because I like a lot of the old logos.
That's one I have never seen before, Vinny. I thought you were gonna say like the 80s, like the 87 logo. I always thought that was really neat. That always reminded me of was it Randall Cunningham? But this one is definitely stupid. Ad block keeps coming up.
It's very clean. Yes. I like that.
Very clean. Very simple. There's something to be said, like you said, there's something to be said for uniqueness. Vinny, your dad says the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Oof. God help us all.
All right.
All right, Justin, it's back to you.
Back to me.
Yeah, let's keep this rolling. We don't need to talk about that. Number 2 for you, Justin.
All right, you are lucky. My last 2 are sorted out now, so we're good there. All right, my number 2, this is a team I would love for them to go back to their original logo, and that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Buck logo.
Nice.
Bucko Bruce holding the knife in his mouth. I will admit, growing up in the 90s, I just remember the Buccaneers were a complete joke when they had the creamsicle uniforms. Not because of the uniforms, but because they were just so bad. Like, I remember the Bears were even better than them in the 90s, and that's saying something. So I love that logo. Like, when you look at it zoomed in, it's kind of silly. Like, it's a guy with like a crazy Three Musketeers hat, and he's got, like almost handlebar mustache, and then he's got the giant earring in his ear and the knife. But love that color scheme because it's not one you see very often. And two, I feel like the Buccaneers tweak stuff on their uniform all the time. And every time they do, I get like a little bit excited being like, this is the year they're going to go back. They're going to go back to the cream colors. They're going to go back to Bucko Bruce. And then ultimately they stick with the, the stuff they won the Super Bowl in, and they just modernize their current one. So that's my number 2, the primary logo from 76 to 96 of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I love it. I love the flag too. I don't know why they made the flag so big. It's weirdly big.
Yeah.
The thing about Bucko, when I see that, I wonder like when they were like, okay, we're gonna have a team in Tampa. Let's get this guy to pose, and like we're gonna paint it. Like who's that guy?
Yeah. It's I'm imagining somebody like that Seinfeld episode where they're painting Kramer, just somebody very odd, and hey, throw this hat on, put this knife in your mouth.
Give the guy a knife.
Yeah, give the guy a knife. Here's a plastic, like it almost looks like a coat, not a coat hanger, a shower curtain ring that that would be like from Planes, Trains, and Auto. Yeah, Del Griffith from Trains, Planes, and Automobiles would be trying to sell you. But yeah, I love that logo. That color is just so cool. There's something for me. I get really tired of seeing like the same red and black or, blue and red. Like, I feel like it's just, there's so much of that. So anytime a team uses something that's a little bit out of the ordinary, like I'm all for that. So it's just a different shade, and it's not like a regular orange. It's got that, creamsicle color or cream soda color. So that's my number 2.
Nice. Solid pick.
Thank you.
All right, Jordan, you're number 2.
So this is my least favorite team in the league, but their logo was cool. It's got a good story. The Pittsburgh Steelers, their logo is awesome, but it's actually the one I want to talk about is one I just found. I'd never even seen before. It's their logo from 1954.
Ooh, let me see here.
Their original logo has a cool story because it used to be like the logo of like the Steel Association, and they just kept it.
Is it this one?
No, it's this.
Okay, hold on. I'll scroll down here.
Yeah, scroll down. That one. That says Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, yeah. That is a really.
It's like
I've never seen that.
Nice.
Like a guy like on the football with the flag. That's awesome.
That's a really cool logo. Yeah,
I've never seen that before.
I've never seen some of these alternate secondary logos or tertiary logos. Like, why don't you know how much money you could make in merchandise, like just slapping these things on things. And if you're a fan of that team, and I'll be honest, there's times where I'll buy hats of teams I don't even like, but it's like, I just love the logo. I've spent way too much money on hats recently, but yeah, like that's a perfect example. I might even buy that if that was on a shirt. Like, and I like you, Jordan. Yeah. I have no affinity for the Steelers whatsoever.
As a Bengals fan, I'm jealous of the Steelworker logo. This is awesome.
Yeah, yeah. That's and I still love the fact that all 3 teams in Pittsburgh are all black and gold. I think that is such a cool concept.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's such a unique idea. I know the Penguins went away with that a little bit. They used a color called Vegas gold, which was just like it looked like taking like a gold and just pouring a bunch of water on it to the point where it was super diluted and kind of gross looking. And then they finally, about 5-6 years ago, they made the switch back to the gold color. So that is really cool. And also, I almost hit the back button on StreamYard again. Look at that. I've never seen this one, but this one's really cool too, of the guy punting the ball off the steel beam or steel girder. That's kind of neat too. It's from the 60s apparently. So, and that was a primary logo. I've never seen that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because that would have been
used that on any
probably
stuff.
When was Terry Bradshaw quarterback? Was that the 70s or is that the 60s? I'm drawing a blank here.
70s.
Okay, so that would have been before him. So
I actually have seen that guy on gear before.
Oh, really? Okay, that's pretty neat.
You?
That's pretty neat.
Not much, but a few things.
But it's there. All right, cool. Awesome.
Nice.
All right, Vinny.
Nice. That's a good number 2. Number 2 for me is the New England Patriots 1972 to 1988 logo. It's really similar to the one Jordan had mentioned earlier, except it's I think he's got the skin tone.
Yep.
I really like this logo. Yeah, I think they should utilize this one a lot more. And like you said, Justin, if they're going to rebrand, which they probably should since Brady's no longer there, it would be good for them to kind of go back to this original logo and kind of use that. Or they should use the, which I probably would have picked if I would have thought of using the unused logos. The unused logo from 1978 for the Patriots is pretty cool. That would be something that they should look at using. It's just like a Patriot. Yeah.
This one?
Yep, that one.
I've never seen that
the
either.
Face and the head and the
There's
stars.
another one with
I
the
think
flag
that's a really
too.
cool one.
Yeah.
That would be something cool to put on a helmet, I think.
That's
or
awesome.
Some sort of patch on the jersey or flag. That one's cool as well. But I like the original, the original Patriot one. If they, the skin tone or no skin tone. The one with the skin tone actually looks more modern than the one that
white
came
one,
after that. But no, I think that's a pretty cool logo. A lot better
Yeah.
than the one that they're using now.
Well, I feel like this is the Mac Jones era, right? Like they need to put a logo synonymous with Mac Jones' career because.
No, they got the other guy.
I know
the guy that filled in for. I can't think of his name.
I can't think of his name either,
was it
but I know
Bailey?
you're talking to him. Bailey something.
Zappy.
Zappy, that's it.
Zappy,
Yes, because I remember
Zappy.
he played against the Bears, right?
He went to my alma mater.
Yes.
He's a Western Kentucky grad.
Is he really?
Oh, there we go.
I don't think Mac Jones is the answer. Granted, I don't know much about the Patriots, but I don't think it's Mac Jones.
I don't either.
I also am starting to wonder if, and I feel like this is something we've talked about, like, I always thought, all right, was it more Brady or was it more, the coaching aspect?
Belichick?
Was it more Belichick? I'm starting to think it was more Brady and less Belichick. I don't know. Or maybe they were just a perfect match and then,
I think it was a perfect match.
Yeah. All right. We're down to my last one, right?
Yes, your number 1, Justin.
My number 1. All right. I will admit, this was my favorite team growing up as a kid. I never had their jersey, never had any of their coats, hats, nothing like that. But playing Madden 98, I would always pick these guys because they had Warren Moon as their quarterback, and I really liked Warren Moon, even though he wasn't very good by then. I don't know why, but he was good in Madden. And that is the Seattle Seahawks original logo and original colors. I love the blue and green. I'm a sucker for blue and green.
I like this one too.
Love that logo.
Yeah.
I love it how it's the new one is a little more modern, but I don't know. I know if Greg's listening to this, Vinny, he's going to think this is awful, but I'm not a big fan of the Volt color, the neon greenish yellow. So that the new jerseys they wear have a little bit of that, but just give me like a classic blue and green. Warren Moon and was it John Freeze or Jeff Freeze and Rick Meyer, who was awful and then became a Bears quarterback and was also awful there too. But yeah, Joey Galloway and who was their running back at that time? It doesn't matter. But yeah, that's that logo from the 70s to 2001. I was so bummed when they switched and Matt Hasselbeck took over and they had like that really dark green. And then one year they had like that neon green as like their alternate jersey, and that thing was hideous. I hated that thing. So that's my number 1, the classic original Seattle Seahawks logo. There you go.
Nice.
I really like that one, and I'm kind of surprised we don't see that one pop up more, like as a throwback or nothing, because it's sharp.
That's one I've definitely like. Granted, I don't really follow the Seahawks now. Couldn't tell. I know Pete Carroll's their coach, and I know was it Geno? What's his name? I can't think of it.
Smith.
Thank you. Geno Smith is their quarterback, but other than that, but if I saw something on sale with that logo on it, I'd probably buy it. So, all right, that's my number 1.
So I had to pick one Bengals logo, and I wasn't going to pick the B. I'm going to go with the one where I have a lot of stuff with this on it. So this is kind of something you find a lot. It's the 68 to 69, the Running Tiger.
Wow. I've never seen that before.
I've never seen that one.
I actually have the
cool
that flag, it flies on Sundays in front of my house. Is that guy?
Really? That is a
cool.
really cool logo. But I'm shocked. Like maybe it's because we're nowhere near Cincinnati and being in Bengals Nation. But like I've never seen that before. That's pretty cool that they actually sell apparel and merch with that on it.
Yeah, that one's pretty common to see like around the stadium. Like you're not gonna like go into like a sporting goods store and see it, but like you'll see it like around the stadium and those kind of shops.
Nice.
My backup plan for that one would have been just the helmet, because like the helmet was the logo for many years.
Yeah,
I think we lost Justin.
Yeah, we did. That's okay. Keep going.
I did it again.
That's a really cool design. I think that's something they probably should have at sporting goods stores, because I think the running Bengal is a pretty cool design.
Yeah, I would agree. Remind me, Vinny, to stop clicking on StreamYard when I'm not on the sports logos page. Anyway, yes, I think that running one's awesome. I think the helmet one's cool. As a kid growing up, like I still, I don't know how it's perceived, but like even the one in the late 90s, the angry looking tiger, like I always thought that was a cool looking one too. I'm sure that one's pretty popular. And granted, I don't think, do they still use that for anything? I don't know.
They still use a version of that. So and you still see a lot of stuff like around, like folks bought a lot of gear in that and they still have it. So like it's not that old, because it's late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
But it's also from an era where we were really bad, like the worst. So like it's sort of like when you see that, it's sort of like, oh, that's the discount version of the Bengals.
that's like the Dollar Tree version. Yeah. All right, gotcha. Well, very cool. I was wondering if you were going to work the Bengals in. I felt like it had to be coming, but I'm curious, Jordan, if they ever went back or went full time to the white helmets with the black striping, would you prefer that, or do you still like the orange and black more?
I would not prefer that. I do like when they do that. I think it's cool, but it's sort of like a novelty thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
yeah.
I'm all for it, like, occasional, but like I like the orange stuff.
Sure, gotcha.
Yep.
All right, very cool. Good pick, Vinny. You're number one.
Yeah, my number one has been already mentioned. It is probably the best logo ever, and the football gods punished them for having this logo by making them such a bad team when they had this. It is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers logo from 1976 to 1996. Just, I mean, like you said, Justin, I love the orange and the red. It's kind of, it almost washes out.
Yeah, a little bit.
At a certain point, I mean, they push the limits to where it's like if they did it anymore, it would wash each other out, but it doesn't. That creamsicle orange and that red go really well together, and just like the Buccaneer, like you said, it's like they just found like the weirdest looking person in the Tampa Bay area. Hey, you look like you could be a pirate. Here, let's give you this earring and this knife, and we're just gonna have someone sketch you here. It probably was a sketch artist at a police department down there for some criminal. Someone's like, hey, we should use this for the football team. But no, I think it's a great logo. They were terrible during that time, so I guess I can understand why they want to bring it back. But man, they really should, because it is awesome.
Oh, Jordan, are you on mute? I can't hear you.
Oh, Jordan's on mute.
There we go. That's all right.
Do you think it would work with the uniforms if they flipped the colors, so like you had more of that darker color and less of the creamsicle?
That's an interesting point.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah, I think I'd be kind of cool. What do they call that? Is that like the pewter? Is that what they're? I think that might be like what they're calling. Yeah,
so like the creamsicle was like an accent, or
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that would be kind of a neat look. Like just something besides just red. Like I don't know. There's so many teams that use that as their primary. And granted, I'm sitting in front of a Blackhawks jersey that's all red, and I love that one. But yeah, I don't know. I think that I feel like there's such. Yeah, I agreed. There's such a fine line between like a cool, unique color scheme, but then also like going off the deep end and being like, yeah, you missed the mark here. That doesn't work, right? So, I don't know. I would like to see it. That'd be pretty cool. That would be really cool. All right, Vinny, your dad wrote in and said, let me find his email here. He said his top 5 logos. Number 5, the New York Giants from the 60s or 68. The New England Patriots from 85. The New York Jets from 78. The Oakland Raiders from 68. And the classic Chicago Bears logo. Honorable mentions to the 76 Buccaneers. Wow, that's probably the first time all three of us have agreed on something, Vinny.
Yeah.
The 70s, the 70s Pittsburgh Steelers and the 60s Atlanta Falcons. And then we also had Chris Creamer himself from Sports Logos tweeted back at me. I was shocked. He had to kind of tell me and put me in my place because I forgot to include the CFL in our tweet with the hashtags. And he recommended, let me share my screen here. Let's share this tab instead. He recommended the Toronto Argonauts and the Montreal Alouettes. If you can see there, the football is actually the ship.
Is pretty cool. Yeah. That one I really liked with the ship and there we go.
Okay, I've never seen this. That's
fantastic.
No,
awesome.
I've never seen it either. And I totally forgot for the longest time. They had 2 teams in the league that were both the Rough Riders, which is so funny to me. In like an 8-team league, they had 2 Rough Riders. And I also found out, too, at one point in the 90s, they tried to expand into the U.S., and they had a Texas CFL team, which is insane to me.
I had no idea.
Let me see if I can find them real quick before we call it a night, and we wish...
So how did that owners meeting go? Did They had a bet they were going to flip on it. And the other guy's just like, "Nah, I'm still doing it."
Yeah. It's like I'm still.
They're Canadian. They're probably just like, you know what? It's okay. We'll just share the logo. And they're probably like, yeah, that's great. And they all gave each other a hug and sang "Kumbaya" because
wow.
What
Okay.
they like to do up in Canada.
There were 2. Actually, no, 3. I take that back. Let me switch. Let me try switching this again. The one I was thinking of was the San Antonio Texans, which were the 95. They only lasted 1 season.
That's pretty cool.
It's a pretty cool logo, but also weird, like CFL is going to expand. It's not like they're expanding into New York or Minnesota or the Dakotas. It's like, let's go to Texas. Okay.
Full-on invasion.
And then they also had...
Yep.
Okay, this is a really cool secondary mark there. But they also had... the Sacramento Gold Miners, which not the greatest logo, if I'm being honest. But and then there was also, this one is totally foreign to me, the Shreveport Pirates, which I'm not quite sure
pretty
what
cool
their
logo.
It's different. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I don't know
what the purple one
is.
The red looks like the bandana, but I don't know what is that the hat?
I don't see a pirate at all.
There's a V for Vendetta vibe there.
Yes,
right?
Yes. Also a team that lasted like a season and a half. So
there used to be Arena League used to be on like in the spring, like on ESPN a lot. There was like a Rattlers or something like that. They had an awesome logo. I don't remember that's the name of the team or not though.
Okay.
If you find that one, but
I'll have to let me see if I can find it.
I got 2 texts in from submissions. Was it Jaybird wrote in and he said the Bears number 1 54 to 73 logo, the Washington Redskins logo number 2, number 3 the Broncos from 70 to 92, number 4 the Texans, and number 5 the Steelers. And Dr. Mantis wrote in number 5 the Bills, number 4 the Dolphins, number 3 the Raiders, number 2 the Chargers, which is kind of a lame lightning.
Oh, the Thunderbolt.
They have an alternate crest that is cool.
The alternate crest is really cool. I agree.
And number 1, the Vikings.
Nice.
Okay.
One weird, non-controversial take on the Washington Redskins logo. The logo itself, like the big logo, has feathers, and it's like with a white ring. And within there is the picture of the mascot, who also has the same feathers.
I never noticed.
There's feathers on feathers on that logo.
All right, I got to pull this up. I never noticed that. Although, considering how that organization seems to be run these days with their ownership, I'm not surprised. But granted, I know. Oh, I'm looking at the Commanders. Hold on, I got to find the. And then we also got the Washington football team here. Yeah, you're right. Wow, that is. I never noticed that you have the feathers on top of feathers. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting.
Learn something new every day.
You do. All right, well, we're going to let Jordan go because it's already 11 out on the eastern seaboard, or Cincinnati, I guess, isn't the East Coast, but you're close. So, Jordan, anything you'd like to plug? I know if you're in education or ed tech and you are not listening to the Flywheel Effect, what is wrong? You need to check that out. Jordan hosts that podcast. Really cool episode coming up in March with Gaspar Randazzo. I hope that's okay to say. I can edit that out if it's not okay to say.
No, that's good. It'd be out 1st of March. It's fun. He's a super funny guy.
He's an awesome.
I'm looking forward to that one coming out.
Awesome dude. If you're in education, you probably follow him on Instagram. Stand Up Randazzo, and he also does stand up comedy, which I know in the episode that I was working on for you guys, like I was shocked. Like I can't imagine teaching all week and then going across the country on flights and doing stand up like that's everywhere. You know what I mean?
Every week for him.
I can't.
He's full of energy and hilarious. During the interview, he stands up at one point and like shows off a tattoo on his calf, and
yes,
the tattoo was Abe Lincoln.
Yes. Yeah. In watching some of his videos and reels, I'm like, wow, he's got a lot of tattoos. Like I think I got a lot, but he's got me beat for sure. So yeah, check that out. Anything else, Jordan, that you want to share? Anything you need to plug?
No, that's it. You can find my show, The Flywheel Effect, on Apple, Spotify, really wherever. But yeah, thank you guys for having me on.
Thank you for being on.
Hope we have a good Super Bowl Sunday, and
we'll
listen to you guys next week. Have a good time.
All right, thanks, Jordan. I'll talk to you. I'm sure I'll be in touch with you this week.
Yeah, see you guys.
All right, take it easy.
Bye.
All right, Vinny. Anything? I mean, this is only an hour-long show tonight. This is nice, but I don't know. You got anything else you want to discuss, talk about, share?
Should we talk about have you seen the hats for the international?
Oh, say that again?
The World Baseball Classic, is that what it's called?
I have not. Let me see. Let me see if I can find them. That's coming up, right?
It is. I think it's next couple of weeks, right? It's got to be because spring training's right around the corner.
Okay. All right. Let me see if I can.
I think it goes into March.
Okay. All right. Here we go. We're pulling up we got our World Baseball Classic hats here. All right. Up first, we got Nicaragua with the basic blue and a white. That almost looks like Northwestern's N.
It is. Yeah, it does. It looks very similar.
I don't remember the hats having the flags on the side the last time there was a World Baseball Classic. Yeah, but I could be wrong.
I don't remember that either, but when was the last one?
Let's see. Last one was...
It's been a while. I mean, it's been before the pandemic. I don't think they had it last
2017.
year.
2017.
Wow.
06, 09, 13, 17.
Seems like a lifetime ago.
It pretty much was. It's crazy to think that was after the Cubs won the World Series. I feel like lately that's how I kind of figure out how long ago something was. I'm like, was that pre-World Series for the Cubs or post-World Series for the Cubs? That is definitely right after 2017.
Yeah.
What else we got here? We got the Dominican Republic, which is kind of you got the R intersecting with the D, and then a red bill, kind of like the old Cubs hats there. This one's kind of neat. Chinese Taipei has kind of a cool C and T, but inside the C is the stitching of the baseball. Pretty cool look there. Man, $42 for a hat. I'm getting cheap. Or prices are going up. I don't know.
No, that's
which one
really
it is.
expensive.
Okay. Even like the new spring training hats were like $45. And I'm like, I'm not spending $45 on a hat. Like if I can't get it on sale, I'm not buying it. Panama, got kind of the white front panel. It's kind of neat. I like it. Red bill.
Orioles. Is that an orange?
I think it's red.
Orange? I guess it's orange and blue, but it looks more like from afar. It looks like orange, and it almost looks like the Orioles colors, like the orange.
Yeah, it kind of does. Yeah,
brown or
and then I mean just your basic like block font for the P, but that's pretty cool. Puerto Rico's is identical to I believe what they've used in the past, kind of like a modern stylized P and an R on an otherwise blue hat.
I'm not a big fan of the modern script on it.
No, Spain. I did not know Spain was even in the World Baseball Classic. Didn't even know they had a baseball team. To be honest,
what is that? It looks like E. Or I guess
for España. Yeah. Come on, Vinny. You're the Euro soccer guy. You should know that.
Oh, I got there. It took me. It took
a second.
It took me, what, 5 seconds?
That's all right.
There,
I can't remember anyone's name to save my life anymore. All right, we got Colombia.
No, you can't.
Which that Colombia almost looks like a really fancy E more than a C. On a blue.
Not a fan of it.
France Also did not know France was in the World Baseball Classic this year. They have, I think that's a dark navy blue with a cursive F. I don't know. Somebody who hates cursive and writing in it, that F is not a fan of me.
It looks like a J almost.
It does. And then you got Germany. I didn't even know Germany had a baseball team. They got the D for Deutschland. That's kind of neat. The color scheme kind of works. I like the red and yellow and black. I think that's kind of a neat look.
Yeah.
All right, the Netherlands. I think this is really cool. I really like this. Do you know? I don't know if you do. The Netherlands flag is red, white, and blue, but orange. Every single Olympic outfit they wear is always orange. Is there any connotation with why it's orange? I feel like I knew at one point.
Holland is orange. If
right.
you talk, I mean, isn't Holland's? I mean, it's the same thing, but when you say Holland, I always think orange.
Okay,
it says national team jersey for the World Cup is orange.
Yes.
What do you got?
It says the orange color that's present throughout much of the Dutch/Netherlands culture is a nod to the royal family, which is made up of members of the House of Orange. This dynasty dates back to 1544 when William of Orange inherited the estate and the title of king at the age of 11.
There you go.
Okay. We got South Africa. I think South Africa's is pretty cool. They got the green hat and then the yellow S. Scheme. I think they got a cool color scheme. Canada has used this logo for a long time now. I really like this logo. It's got the red maple leaf, and then kind of it's a C, but it's like the trajectory of a baseball coming off of it, maybe? Is that kind of what they're going for?
Yeah, I think so. It's a pretty cool one. I like that.
Mm-hmm. And then we got Japan. I don't think Japan's has changed. They got like the slate gray with the red J. Pretty simple, but kind of a cool look. Mexico's I always thought was interesting. I don't think that one's changed. That's got the red bill, green cap, and then
color scheme reminds me of the Joker from Batman.
Really? Does it really?
The green and the red, because that was kind of his colors that he would have from the 90s Keaton Batman. I know there was some stuff in there.
Yeah, I guess you're
right.
right.
I'm sure it's probably also from the comics and earlier TV show. But yeah, that color scheme, that green and that like bright. Is it orange or is it?
It's red. It's red. Yeah,
the flag's red, but it's like a bright red. I feel like on the cap. At least that's what is coming through on my computer. It just reminds me of like the Joker.
I also get, and maybe it's because of like the Mexican culture, but like the way the M is stylized with the red outline and then the white and then the green line inside of it. I kind of get like a lucha mask vibe, which I don't know if that's intentional because obviously the luchadors are such a big thing in Mexico, so. Maybe it's not intentional at all, but that's kind of, for some reason, that's what I'm seeing. Israel, I know, is in the Baseball Classic. They just have a blue cap with a stylized Star of David on the front. Nothing too crazy there. That. Yeah, pretty decent looking. The U.S., I always thought the U.S. one was kind of neat. I don't know where you stand on that one. It's just blue, white.
Lame.
You think it's lame, even with the star in the background?
It looks like something from the late 90s, early 2000s garbage, modern crap. Get it out of here.
What do you think would be a better? Would you just go like USA or US block font or
not
an
sure? Eagle or something on there. I don't know. They could do a better script or something. Like I said, it looks like a rebrand during the 2000s. That just ultra modern piece of garbage. Get it out of here. You could do better, USA.
Oh, I feel like, that makes sense. If the first Baseball Classic was 06, that had to be designed probably like 04, 05. So I think they're due for a change. The Australian one I really like. The green and then the A that's also got a little bit of yellow. And I was always curious, too. That's another one. Their flag has nothing to do with green. So why do Olympic athletes always wear green and their baseball team wears green? And that is because, are you ready, Vinny? The green evokes the forests, eucalyptus trees, and pastures of the Australian landscape. Green and gold are also the colors of Australia's national floral emblem, the golden wattle. So that's why the green is such a big deal to them. I'm great. This next one, I'm going to vote worst baseball cap of the World Baseball Classic, and that is Italy.
It's better than the US's.
Oh, I'm gonna have to disagree. Like this almost looks like Iowa Cubs almost. I hated when they just had the stupid eye on it. Like, I don't know.
The
Do
eye's
something
too
better.
big.
It's too big.
A little bit. It's way too tall. It's almost going to like I feel like it's like over halfway to the top of the cap. Yeah, it's probably the worst one. Although I'm maybe being too harsh on the U.S., but I mean, I don't know if it was better. If even if it was like smaller, maybe a little thicker blocking eye, the color is better. The blue's better than the US's, and I would still take a block script over the modern crap that's on the US's hat. It looks like someone ate some modern crap design and crapped it out and put it on the hat, and that's what the US is. I can't stand that.
I feel like for the US,
it's offending me just looking at it.
You could probably go on like Chat GPT and ask it to, create something as a new cap for US baseball, and you'd probably get something better than that.
Design the worst cap you can find, and that's what they would come out with. For the US.
This also brought up, why do the Italian teams always wear blue? That is because of their national flag going back to before they were a republic. Blue was the official color of the royal house of Savoy and is a tribute to the Italian monarchy that is still living in the country. And then we got a couple left here. New Zealand. I really like New Zealand.
That's cool.
I think that's pretty cool. I think that might be a little bit, I could be wrong, but I'm thinking a little bit of Maori, like the indigenous people there, a little script kind of there.
Okay.
Venezuela's colors are pretty cool. Kind of a neat V. China, you got to see that kind of turns into a dragon.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty neat.
And the yellow and red color scheme's pretty cool too.
I think that's a pretty cool look. Yeah. What else we got? Czech Republic has a baseball team. Wow. That's a cool one. You got the C and the R kind of turning into a home plate, and then there's a little, I don't know what the dot's supposed to be. Is that a baseball maybe?
Baseball.
Brazil is just your basic blue with a yellowish B, kind of matching the flag. Pakistan. I did not know Pakistan was in the World Baseball Classic this year. That's kind of cool.
No idea.
They have a green, what would that be? Not Kelly green, kind of a forest green look. And then they have a baseball with the red stitching. The Pakistan text I could probably do without. That kind of doesn't really work for me. But then they have the crescent and the star, obviously, that is from their flag. And then the last two
they could have accented the moon better in there, like had that be the focal point than a baseball. I don't know, like they could have done the moon and then like a baseball like
behind it
in there instead of I don't know. I feel like the baseball patch there's too much in there. I don't know. I don't know.
And then the last two, we got Great Britain, which is just a very basic G and a B.
It's almost worse than that.
I was gonna say that's kind of boring.
Worse than the U.S.
That font looks like I've seen that font somewhere. They stole that from something. That is
a font that was probably used in like the 90s and like some discount video store that got defunct or something along the way, but like a Blockbuster or something like that, but just like a mom and pop one, like a local chain Blockbuster where they use that font. It just that's bad.
That's too funny. And then lastly, you got the baby blue with the white front panel, and then a baby blue A that's kind of stylized with a very light hinting of yellow for Argentina. So there you go. That is,
I like that.
All of them. Do you have, if you had to pick one that gun to your head, you got to buy one, Vinny, which one are you buying?
I don't know. Probably the Netherlands was good. I don't know. I have to see them all again. I like the New Zealand one. That one's really cool with the N and the Z. I like the Panama one, the Germany one, the Canada one, the South Africa one, the Australian one. I could pick one easily.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one, I'd probably pick the New Zealand one, I think.
Yeah, I think that's
I
a safe
would not
bet.
pick the U.S. one. Stop circling around that one. I think I would pick the New Zealand one.
Okay. I think I would go
What was it? It was black. It was a black hat with the white N and a Z. I'm having a hard time seeing, like, differentiating the colors. Yeah, see, a good black hat is always a solid choice. So I always go with like a navy blue. That's always my go-to. So I think I would probably go with the Netherlands one, but that New Zealand one wouldn't be far behind. And then Australia, I really like Australia's too. So Yeah.
Nice. Good call. I'm glad you brought that up. I totally forgot that was even going on this week. So, that they released those. I feel bad. I got nothing else to share. You got anything else?
Yeah, I didn't come prepared. But I don't know. Maybe next week we can talk about Zip's projections for both the Cubs and White Sox. Maybe look at the league's Zip's projections as well.
I like it. I like it.
I don't have anything else. Oh, wait. No. You know what? What's did that? Have a movie review. I got around to watching. Took me 2 weeks to finish, but I finished watching the Weird Al Yankovic story.
Oh, yeah.
It is Weird Al's biopic movie. It is hilarious. It was nothing I was expecting something serious, which... It's Weird Al. I should have been expecting it. It's essentially a parody of all the other biopics, and it's about his life. It's very out there. Like it's like really ridiculous at some points, and other points it's like, well, okay, there's bits of truth that are sprinkled in there, and you're trying to figure out. It had me questioning whether he actually wrote an original song at one point. I'm embarrassed to say that because I'm like sitting there, I'm like, okay, did this actually happen? And I'm trying to like Google it, and then when a part of the movie happens, and I'm just like sitting there, I'm like, wait a minute, he didn't actually write that. It didn't come out first before the famous song did. Mm-hmm. And yes, I had to look it up, and it was sad as I was typing that into Google search bar that I was looking that up. But I highly recommend it. It's on Roku channel.
Okay.
And Daniel Radcliffe as Weird Al is phenomenal.
I've heard he was good.
Yeah, he was very good in it. And they have a lot of there's a scene where he's at a party, and they have a lot of actually big name actors at the party playing roles of comedians and stuff like that. But Conan O'Brien is one of the people that are in it. Jack Black's in it. Rainn Wilson's in it. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of good cameos in it from other actors, not necessarily playing themselves. Nice. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I recommend watching. It was pretty quick too. I think it was like an hour and a half or something like that. So if you like Weird Al, I recommend watching it.
I do. I have that on my radar. I've seen clips. I know he plays a character in it too, doesn't he? Like a record executive or something
in it as well. He's pretty funny. Yep.
Yeah. I've definitely wanted to check that out. So that's one that I need to see. I have so many. Your sister and I still need to finish. We started it, and then Maddie woke up. We started Everywhere All at Once, which is it's been nominated in the main actor from it just won an award, who also played Short Round and Data from Indiana Jones and Goonies.
Really?
He's coming back now as a serious actor, which is awesome. It's kind of cool to see. Really good though so far. We've only made it probably about 40 minutes in. I still have Fast and Furious 9 sitting on the shelf. Haven't watched it yet. It's been sitting there for 2 years now because we had a child, and now we're too tired to stay up for movies. And then I also have been meaning to show her, I bought the Batman on Blu-ray, and I want to show it to her because I know she'll actually sit and watch Batman. That's a really good Batman. So,
yeah. You should also watch The Boys.
We should.
Throw that one out there.
Yeah, we should. There was something else.
And The Hunters 2 came out too.
Well, yeah, I'm probably not.
Did you watch season 1?
I watched like 3 episodes, and I love the premise. I think it's awesome. I love the historical, things here and there they worked in, but man, it was really gruesome. I kind of tapped out. So I think it was when they killed everyone at like that cookout. Was it the not? I'm like, I might be
That's
good.
Great.
Yeah. So I have been curious. I've been trying to get Erica to watch it so she can tell me if I should watch it. On HBO Max, that show, The Last of Us, has been getting amazing reviews. And it's based on the PS.
Been really good.
It's based on the PS3 and PS4 games, which I played the first one. Actually, I think Greg bought it for me. It was a wedding present. He bought me a video game, that's Greg, and I appreciate that. And it was good, but it was dark. And then the sequel came out, And it came out like right when all the shutdowns and the pandemic started. And I mean, this game is gruesome and gory, and it's like there are no good people in this world, and it's just like varying shades of gray. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not in the mood for that. So I never got around to playing it just because I've heard it's pretty gruesome. But yeah, I've heard the show is amazing. Pedro Pascal, the Mandalorian, is in it. So he plays the lead character. So Mando is coming back. We got like another month away.
Yeah.
It's a tough call, though. I don't know.
Around my birthday.
It does. And I mean, I know you liked... I know there's other Star Wars shows you liked more than Mando, particularly Andor, but Mando's going to be good. I'm telling you, Vinny, it's going to be good.
Oh, I doubt it. I mean,
remind
Andor
me, we need to get a hold of Jake Banowski, and we're going to have our Andor episode where we're going to try and convince you that it's a good show.
I'd already told you.
It's wrong choice of words. It's better than you think it is. We'll put it that way. Better than Obi-Wan.
I think I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna have to rewatch it beforehand and really just rip it apart to where you guys are like, yeah, that is actually complete garbage of a show.
I don't think Greg's watched it. Maybe we'll have to wait until Greg has watched it, and we'll have him on too. So, Greg, we miss you. So. Happy belated birthday. Yeah. All right. That's it. If you would like to write in the show, tell us your favorite football logos, else correct us. We don't care. You can reach us on youtube.com/baseball and whatever, twitch.tv/baseball and whatever. You can tweet us at baseball and what. I don't know if you saw the new things that Twitter's introducing. It looks really bad. Email baseballwhatever@gmail.com. Listen to us on your podcast app of choice. We do have 2 new reviews that came in. We will read those next week when we get back to our regularly scheduled show. And you can find us on TikTok at baseball and whatever. I'll be honest, I don't know what I'm doing, and I haven't had time to make another one. So hopefully I'll have time for this one. We'll see. Anyway, we'll be back next week with more baseball and whatever. See you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
See ya.